CTV News at 5 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with a note for drivers. OPP say delays can be expected along Highway 17 due to a single vehicle collision. The highway is closed in both directions from Hammersfeld Road to Fen Road. That's northeast of Espanola. Now to a collision over the weekend. One person is dead. 3 others were injured after a 2-vehicle crash in Sudbury Saturday. Police say the crash happened around 4 in the afternoon when a vehicle headed south on Notre Dame Avenue entered the northbound lane on Municipal Road 80. The driver of the southbound vehicle was pronounced dead at the scene. Police are still investigating and are asking anyone in the area with information or dash cam footage from Saturday between 3:45 and 4:15 p.m. to contact police. Meanwhile, an investigation into a single vehicle fatal crash is also underway north of Wawa. OPP say at about 6 p.m. Saturday, a utility terrain vehicle rollover occurred on a trail about 30 kilometers east of Duberville. The driver of the UTV, a 36-year-old from Wawa, was pronounced deceased at the scene. Time now for our first check on weather, and it sure was a soggy weekend, but will the rain clouds be sticking around? For those details, we go to CTV's Rick Wyman filling in for Tony.
Marina, a great time to get caught up with some old spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood on the weekend, so I really enjoyed that. We will get a break, a reprieve, call it what you will, for tomorrow. Some sunshine in the forecast. Then we'll take a look at Wednesday in just a few minutes. Your first take on weather brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. You see the clearing trend for tomorrow. Malheureusement, Marina, we've got some rain rolling in by Wednesday. Some details on the 5-day forecast coming up just minutes away.
All right, thank you for that, Rick. Trade negotiations between Canada and the United States collapsed at the 11th hour over the weekend, and President Trump has made good on the threat of 50% tariffs on thousands of Canadian products. CTV's Eric Tashner now with Northern Ontario reaction to the failed trade talks and the uncertain economic future.
The word that draws ire from Canadian consumers and business owners: tariffs.
Well, they're unfair. I refuse to buy anything that's made in the States and have for the last year.
Until Trump's gone, I won't buy anything American if I don't have to. And once he's gone, life will return to some form of normalcy.
The 50% tariffs now in effect target roughly 5% of Canada's annual exports to the United States, around $28 billion in goods.
It raises a lot more questions for our companies and our businesses that import, export, or are part of the supply chains.
There are questions on the viability of small and medium-sized businesses downsizing or shutting down under the pressure of these tariffs.
These small and medium-sized businesses that are employing hundreds of thousands of people in a lot of our small communities, even in Northern Ontario. We can't see that happen.
The Prime Minister has promised retaliatory tariffs will come into effect September 7th, which is getting mixed reaction here in the north.
We're seeing this as maybe potentially a short-term pain for Northern Ontario. We need to look at opportunities to diversify that economy, not just be reliant on the U.S.
Well, I appreciate the stance that both the federal and the provincial governments have taken to stand up for the resources or industries that exist in northeastern Ontario.
In Sault Ste. Marie, where Algoma Steel is the city's largest private employer, further tariffs will hurt the city's economy even more. The mayor saying the community is at its wits' end with the current United States administration.
We're going to have to look at the Canadian market and outside of the Canadian market in Europe and Asia, Africa, and elsewhere in the Middle East to sell our steel.
This as communities on both sides of the border brace for further economic fallout. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
A key industry in the north, of course, is mining supply. It too is expected to be hit by the swapping of tariffs between Canada and the U.S. CTV's Lydia Chubak has that story.
For the bucket shop in Timmins, the impact is coming from both directions, with tariffs on materials coming into Canada and products going back into the U.S.
We've got a dual impact now on our cost structure. which unfortunately gets passed on to our customers. So we're all feeling the pain, and like every other person in Canada would say, and hopefully the US, we need these tariffs to go away to make it a better competitive playing field for everyone.
The bucket shop builds components for the mining industry, including large buckets and truck boxes. The disruption is pushing the company to look closer to home for materials.
We've looked elsewhere for raw material acquisition, including in our own province. So I won't divulge a lot of the details yet, but it's forced us to look at where we access our own raw materials, and we're working with provincial companies to help us satisfy that requirement.
And it's not just sourcing that's changing. MineConnect says companies that once saw each other primarily as competitors are now finding more reasons to work together.
Some of the things I have noticed is some of the members who used to see each other, I don't want to say as the enemy, but the competitor, don't have as negative of a perception anymore. They tend to be working together or having more conversations because they realize we need to be partnering, not looking at it as a negative.
Tremblay says smaller businesses are likely to feel the pressure the most as tariffs drive up costs.
They've had to stock up on like core materials, or like where they've stocked up before it hit or before it got worse. But that means they also need more space. So they've had to purchase land or put a new building up.
With Canada's countermeasures set to take effect September 8th, officials say the industry is now waiting to see what support will be available to help businesses weather the uncertainty. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Time now for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. For now, though, let's take a look at conditions in Sudbury. This is a live look where you can see some rather gloomy conditions out there. We'll be right back.
Rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. I bring you some sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow as things start to clear up. As you can see, that system is moving out. A chance of a shower in Greater Sudbury right now and other areas in northeastern Ontario, but we'll get rid of that. Some fog patches rolling in, and then here comes the pain again on Wednesday. We've got some unsettled weather, a low pressure system. We'll get to some of the conditions here momentarily. Let's check out our 5-day forecast. Some sun and cloud by about noon tomorrow, mainly cloudy, fog patches in the morning, 24-year high. Chance of showers on Wednesday. Here we go. It's 60%. That's a good bet. Thursday and Friday, chance of showers, 20 both days, and 21 on Saturday. Some sun and some cloud. How about the Soo? We've got mainly sunny tomorrow, 25. Should be a nice day there. Chance of showers Wednesday and Thursday, just like Sudbury, 20, 21. 20 Friday, some sun and cloud. And again, Saturday should be a nice day, 21, some sun and some cloud. Things improving in Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Clearing tomorrow, 24. Chance of showers Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 60% for Wednesday, by the way. A damp day Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, not as bad, 40 and 30%. Mainly cloudy skies come Saturday at 20. How about Temiskaming Shores and Kirtland Lake? Sun and cloud by about midday tomorrow. Some cloudy conditions to start things off during the day. 23-year high Wednesday. Chance of showers at 60%. Not as bad Thursday, Friday at 40 and 30%, 18, 19-year highs, and 21 Saturday, some sun and cloud. And how about North Bay West Nipissing? Well, cloud clearing, 24 in your forecast, 60% chance of showers Thursday and Friday, 21 and 20, and 22 Saturday, sun and cloud. So, Marina, again, the conditions good for tomorrow. Not so good Wednesday, improving slightly Thursday and Friday. The weekend shaping up to be okay, at least with some sun and some cloud. Back to you.
Now we'll take the break, even if it is just a little one. Thank you for that, Rick. Ride-sharing giant Uber has officially launched in northeastern Ontario, making it the first operator to go live under a new provincial framework. CTV's Angela Gemmel reports.
Rider Zero. Kim Hancock is Rider Zero in Sudbury. That's what Uber calls the first passenger in a newly launched community.
It's the same Uber app that's available in over 700 communities in the country and also 10,000 cities globally. And really, we want people to have that kind of seamless, convenient experience.
Sudbury is one of 79 communities across the Northeast where Uber is now available. For Hancock, Uber is one more option to help get people home safely after drinking. She's been an advocate for Mad Canada since her son died 12 years ago after he was struck by an impaired driver.
We do live in the north, so maybe sometimes it is harder to get home. We don't have bus service where we live, so it makes it tough, you know. So Uber will just make it another tool to use and hopefully keep impaired drivers off the road.
Uber says it's the first to operate under Ontario's new one-year pilot rideshare framework. It supports transportation options within the Northlander corridor between Gravenhurst and Cochrane.
It's not about one company over another, or one transportation option over the other. It's really about increasing the availability of safe, reliable, accessible transportation in our community because the need is there.
Two other ride-sharing companies operate in the region, U-Ride and Y-Drive. The founder of Y-Drive says he's not opposed to Uber expanding, but he does take issue with the government's policy changes, saying they remove safety and oversight from the industry, saying in part it's scary to think that local police, bylaw departments and town cities themselves are being stripped of their ability to manage and enforce something so crucial.
The Ontario government has set consistent rules for background checks, for vehicle inspections, for insurance, for safety, and that for us is really just the foundation because our platform, we have safety features that are embedded before, during, and after the trip.
Uber says ride availability depends on the number of active drivers in a given community. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
Municipal election campaigns are officially underway across the north as the deadline to submit names to the ballot has come and gone. When it comes to the mayoral races, official candidate lists have been released by the large municipalities across our region. Let's take a look at those now as we present the names on the ballot in alphabetical order. In North Bay, there are 5 candidates for mayor: Connor Curry, Melanie Demers, Maggie Horsfield, Jamie Lowry, and Daniel Seguin. 8 candidates are running in Greater Sudbury: Joseph Boutreau, Troy Crowder, Bob Johnson, Paul Lefebvre, Michael McIntosh, Keenan Menard, Rodney Newton, and Miranda Roca Turcelli. In Sault Ste. Marie, there are 5 candidates: Josh McNally, Selva Rosaya, Joel Roswell, Matthew Shoemaker, and Matthew Toffelmeyer. Timmins will see 6 candidates running for mayor: Michelle Boileau, Robert Boucher, Nathan Boulay, Rob Knox, Lawrence Martin, and Chris McNeil. And Thunder Bay has the most mayoral candidates at 10. Those include Donald Baxter, Maureen Kamuzi, Peter Mark John Diedrich, Trevor Giertuga, Shane Judge, Volker Krom, Peter Panetta, Alder Roberto, Wolfgang Schur, and Doug Vincent. Thunder Bay and North Bay are running without incumbents for the mayor's set this election. And CTV's Ian Campbell will have a new weekly series starting this Wednesday. Municipal Election 2026 will air as part of our 6 o'clock newscast every Wednesday until October 26th. Learn about the candidates, the issues, and the election process each week, and keep up with the latest information on the election through our dedicated webpage at ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca/election 2026. And coming up on CTV News at 5, a call for volunteers from a downtown mission. Plus, new funding is announced to support Black entrepreneurs and businesses across the region. With August in full swing and fall just around the corner, the Elgin Street Mission is looking ahead to a busy autumn in downtown Sudbury. The mission's director says while volunteer numbers typically dip over the summer months, the need for hot meals has remained high. As the mission prepares for the fall rush, it's urging community members to get a head start on filling up autumn volunteer rosters. It's encouraging local businesses, families, and individuals to step up to help.
It's a great place to serve, to be around a table, working together, and of course meeting one of our community's biggest needs. But it's a great opportunity for corporations to come as well. We have businesses that come and serve together once a month, so it's one of those opportunities that you can serve as a team, serve as a church, serve as a family.
And if you're wondering, those interested in getting involved or signing up, a group for fall volunteer shifts can visit the Elgin Street Mission volunteer portal or contact their team directly. In other news, the Afro population in Northern Ontario is growing, and today there was a $1.2 million FedNor funding announcement in Sudbury to support Black entrepreneurs and businesses across the region. CTV's Alana Everson has this story.
The federal government is investing $1.2 million to support the ongoing delivery of the Northern Ontario Black Economic Empowerment Program, known as NOBEEP.
This is the third funding stream for NOBEEP. They've done tremendous work, and we have seen them grow and create jobs and grow the economy right here in Sudbury, Northern Ontario.
We're able to go to Thunder Bay, to Timmins, Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay to actually host events, and we're able to have a team dedicated to listen to the entrepreneurs, understand their businesses, identify the gaps.
The money will be used for workshops, training seminars, mentorship, and consulting services. Since beginning 5 years ago, NOBEEP has assisted over 200 Black entrepreneurs across Northern Ontario.
I offer training and consulting to organizations who want to work with the Black community, schools, hospitals, other community agencies, and NOBEEP really helped me to clarify my idea, build a business model, canvas, launch it successfully.
When you are in a new country like Canada, just having someone you can talk to give you support, to give you words of encouragement and guidance on how to start up a business.
The funding ensures the ongoing delivery of NOBEEP programming until 2030.
The number of businesses that have grown because of this program over the last number of years is significant. The fact that this funding will be lasting for a number of years now gives that certainty of those investments that contribute a lot to our economy.
Officials with FedNor say the funding will create 25 new business startups and support the modernization and expansion of 40 more. It will also provide various training opportunities to 1,000 participants. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
It was all about music, food, and community spirit as Afro Fest Sudbury returned to Bell Park over the weekend. First held in 2018, the annual festival celebrates African and Caribbean culture here in the north. The two-day event featured live performances, culinary vendors, and family activities. The festival's co-founder says celebrations like this are vital for passing down traditions and building community for the next generation.
Most of us came with very little kids, or some of our kids were they were born here, right? And they have no idea. A lot of them do not have an idea where they come from. They do not understand, they do not know our culture from back home. So we celebrate this every year, kind of to keep them, in the knowledge of our culture and make sure that they don't forget, that they're from somewhere.
Organizers add attendance and vendor numbers have steadily grown every year since the pandemic. When we return, wrestling fans are in for a treat this week in Kirkland Lake. You're watching First at 5. Our first community close-up comes to us from Sudbury, and something dog lovers to add to their calendars. The Sudbury and District Kennel Club has announced it will be hosting 3 days of championship dog shows from September 18th to the 20th at the Tobe Lake Arena in Coniston. The shows will feature over 200 Canadian Kennel Club registered purebred show dogs from across Canada vying for championship titles. Organizers say it's a family-friendly event, but that pets are not permitted unless, of course, they're registered for the show. Just west of Sudbury, the Massey Fair is set to take place this coming weekend. The 119th annual Massey Fair will take place Friday through Sunday at the local fairgrounds. Organizers say it's a rain or shine event featuring agricultural exhibits, live entertainment, a vendor marketplace, children's activities, motocross races, and much, much more. You can visit masseyfair.ca for more information. And in Macker Township, Stephanie Carlton captured a shot of the beauty that comes following a rainstorm. Take a look at this vibrant rainbow she happened to notice. It sure is nice to see, and one of many reasons to look forward to a little rain. Thanks for sharing this with us tonight. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, please email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. Don't forget to include your name, location, and a short description. And finally for us tonight, pro wrestling action is returning to Kirkland Lake this week as local fans prepare to gather for a big night in the ring, and all for a good cause. Rock Solid Wrestling is set to bring its annual Shake the Lake event back to the Northern College Gym on Saturday, August 29th. Now in its 4th year, the fan favorite showcase brings heavy hits and high energy entertainment, with proceeds directly benefiting community living Kirkland Lake. Organizers are hoping to build on last year's success, which raised over $3,500 to support local programming and community inclusion. For the athletes stepping into the ring, we're told the Northern Ontario crowd makes every match memorable.
I remember I was still pretty new to wrestling when I actually came out to the crowd the first time, and I went out and I was like, holy, like you can, the noise that happens and the people and the support, and everyone up north is so kind. Whether it's coming up just to give you a fist bump at the merch table, it's a moment you'll never forget.
Inevitably, after every single show, somebody comes up to me and says, I don't like wrestling. I don't watch wrestling. I'm here for my kids or for the charity. But this was so much fun. Please come back next year. Pro wrestling is theater for Shakespeare for the masses. Pro wrestling is Shakespeare for the masses. And it is for everybody. It is the kind of experience that you can't get anywhere else.
Gotta love that northern support. By the way, doors open at 6 p.m. Saturday. Tickets available online and at the door. There's more news for the North coming up at 6. Continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.